What is up, YouTube family?
If you hate Roblox and you think it's garbage and childish, then get off my page because all you're gonna see here is Roblox. Goodbye!
So let's get right into this video. I'm gonna be sharing with you guys 10 tips to a happier life, and these are things that I do on a daily, weekly, consistent basis, and they truly do make me a more positive and happy person. And just as a disclosure, these are all things that I do in my life that have helped me. So I encourage and hope that they help you guys. So let's get into the video. Alright, you guys, so tip number one I have for you guys is know that it's okay to not be okay. And basically what that means is we're just humans, we're not perfect, so you can't expect to be happy every day. You can't expect to be positive every day. You can try your best, and you can try your best to come up from difficult situations, but it's okay to not be okay. So I want to give you guys an example real quick. Like for this YouTube video, for me, like being a creator and making this video, I was super having like writer's block with this video. I just did not know what video to do. And I took a breath and I'm like, okay, this is okay. I can't think right now. Let me take a moment and figure this out. So I relaxed, I calmed down, and then it inspired me to make this video. I'm like, okay, let's make a video on tips to try and stay happy and positive. So my first tip for you guys is I feel like it's overused. It's okay to not be okay, but it truly is okay to not be okay. And just the meaning of that is so powerful. And if you say it to yourself, you can convince yourself it truly is okay to not be okay, guys, all right? And tip number 11, this is bonus, get a dog. Dogs, I'm pretty sure it's scientifically proven, make you happier. I mean, it's like they're just here just to love you. So encouragement, tip number 11, bonus, get a dog or a pet. A cat, cats are cool too, I love them. But dogs, like mine greets me at the door, smiles, kisses. So wanna live a happier life, get a dog. All right guys, let's go to tip number 2. Tip number 2, this is an interesting one. My tip to you guys is do not watch the news.
What's coming up in sports, Eric?
Βρίσκομαι. Πολλοί λόγοι υπάρχουν, όχι ένας. Ο Θανάσης δεν ξυπνά ούτε πρόκειται να ξυπνήσει.
Be conscious of what's going on in the world, but a lot of times I notice the news just puts out a lot of negative things about certain groups or certain things, and there's not a lot of happiness going on in the news. And you don't want to be blind and ignore things that are going on in the world. But advice for people who do like the news, tune into local news. They tend to do stories about what's going on in the community, whether it's bad or good. They kind of, at least the ones here in my area, they do good stories. And then of course, if crime happens or whatever, they cover that. But I think the problem with the bigger news outlets is a lot of the time it's a lot of negativity and putting things down. And my advice is just to kind of cut out news. For example, guys, I don't watch the news, but I know what's going on because sometimes I check out Google News or something and I just see what the headlines are. But I just kind of focus on my own things, my own problems, my own goals. If you guys are getting any value out of this video, please subscribe. I'm a brand new YouTuber. I just posted my first video about 8 or 9 days ago, maybe 10 days ago. And I would appreciate you guys so much. If you guys like my vibe, and if you guys gained any value out of this content, I would appreciate it so much if you joined the family and hit that like button. I think it helps the YouTube algorithm. And I'd appreciate it so much, guys. And I really hope these tips help. All right, let's keep going. Tip number 3 is to read more books. Reading is huge. Reading has helped me get out of low points in my life. And what it does for me is when I read books, sometimes it puts an idea into my head and then it gets me excited, it gets me happy, it gets me motivated. And it's so different than television for me because television is just like something you watch just to kind of kill time, and it's comfortable and it's fun, but reading really it inspires ideas, and it is very interesting for me to read and learn things. So reading, guys, read more books about self-helping, self-improvement, read more books about topics that you're interested in. For example, I have books about the stock market, I have books about being an entrepreneur, leadership, books about figuring things out, and it helps me through my days because it makes me a stronger person, and in turn makes me happier. Tip number 4 is to do more of the things that you love or like to do in life. And these can be little things like going to Starbucks once a week to get a coffee, or
hot chocolate. Oh, actually, can you get extra whipped cream? Oh, shit, my bad.
going to get bubble tea once a week. Or big things like, if you love riding horses, then going to go ride horses once a month or once a week. So it can be little things that you can add into your routine, or big things. It could be a career change. If you have a passion for finances and you want to be an accountant or you want to be a financial advisor, go to school or learn how to do that. Go for it. Do the things you love in life, because if you're spending so much time doing the things that you don't like and you're dreading going to work and it's just a bad feeling, it's going to drain your energy and it's not going to be good. So focus on the things you love and like to do in life, whether that be something little or a big change in life. Tip number 5 is making the best of the situation you're in. So sometimes we can't help ourselves. We get into a situation that may be very negative. It can affect emotions and be very bad. And my tip to you guys is just to make the best of it. So you can write out what's going on and write out what you can do about it. Is there anything you can do about it? Is it just a waiting game? What can you do about it to make it better for yourself? I think sometimes we get into feeling sorry for ourselves and just all the negative things, but if you really take a step back and look, for example, if work right now is extremely boring, you have nothing to do, you're there for 10 hours, you feel like you're wasting your life. Well, maybe, are you interested in studying for something? Is there some sort of hobby that you can do while you're there? This probably isn't the case for most people, because most of the time work is you're working there. But my point is to make best of the situation at hand. So take a step back and look and ask yourself, what can I do to improve the situation? So tip number 6, guys, is talk your feelings out to a friend, a counselor, a family member. Get whatever is going on out, because holding in your emotions is not good. I think it can lead to breakdowns, and having somebody there to talk to can really lift weight off your shoulders. So if there's something just like digging into your feelings and things, and you just need to talk to somebody to really help and feel relieved, and it definitely can increase happiness because you're no longer stuck and plagued with that thing that you need to get off your weight. So encouragement, guys, is if you don't have a friend, look into getting a counselor. If you can't get a counselor, look into getting family. Find somebody out there that you can speak to and trust and get your emotions out. Have someone you can talk to. Tip number 7, guys. Tip number 7 and 8 are kind of combined. So number 7 is just to be more kind. Typically, if you are a kind and loving person, you can attract the same people, which is gonna create more happiness in your life. You're gonna have less negative people in your life. If you're a negative and rude person, kind people are not gonna wanna be around you. You're gonna attract similar people. And number 8 is to help out people, help others out. So try and be less selfish and try and think of others more. So think about, how can I help out somebody today? And typically, in my experience, when I help someone out, it makes me feel good. Be the person that likes to give more than they like to receive. So open your heart up more. Tip number 9 is to treat yourself. If anybody's ever seen Parks and Recreation, then you know what treat yourself is, but treat yourself.
Clothes.
Treat yourself.
Fragrances.
Treat yourself.
Massages.
Treat yourself.
Mimosas.
Treat yourself.
Fine leather goods.
Treat yourself.
This basically goes with doing the things you like and love, but treating yourself and celebrating the accomplishments you've done that day, that week, that month in your life. Celebrating the big accomplishments and treating yourself. And treating yourself can be doing things like, again, the Starbucks idea, doing the things that you like to do. So treating yourself, let's say you did something great at work and you want to treat yourself to a night out. You want to go have fun. Treat yourself. Be okay with celebrating the good things in your life and realizing that you did something great and you should be proud of yourself. and treating yourself. If it's gonna be a $500 shopping spree, go do it. Treat yourself. Last but not least, so this is much easier said than done, but stop worrying and stop stressing out so much. So of course, there's no button that you can flip and turn off stress and turn off worry and turn off anxiety, but realize that you don't have time for that. It doesn't matter. The thing I like to say is everyone worries about themselves. So when you go out, they're not looking at you, they're not caring about you, they're worrying about themselves. So that's how I feel. So when I go out places, I just say, okay, I'm gonna own this, I'm gonna be confident. Everyone kind of has their own problems in life, things that they're worrying about. I want to put this into a example in my life is, so I ran a cleaning company, and I would always worry about the cleanliness, of course, right? But then I thought, I'm like, of course that's good to do. Everyone else there is not just focusing on the cleaning like I am, okay? Because that is me, that's my job. They are worried about all of their own problems, about their job. So my point there is, when you go out places and you worry maybe about what other people are thinking, just know they have their own problems that they worry about and that they're thinking about. So don't stress, don't worry, try and get rid of anxiety. And the way that I do that is I tell myself, I don't have time for that. I don't have time to stress, I don't have time to worry. And you basically talk yourself up. You give yourself a pep talk. And sometimes it works, depending on the thing you're worrying about or stressing about. Sometimes it doesn't work, but at least giving it a try to where you can talk yourself out of it and realize that sometimes it doesn't matter. Sometimes what you're worried about is not even that big of a deal. Another helpful tip is write out what you're worried about, look at it on paper, and think to yourself, is it really that big? Why am I even worrying about this? One last example is, I was worrying about how I'm going to greet this person when I met them yesterday. Am I going to do a handshake? Am I going to do a hug? And it started to make me feel anxious. I'm like, seriously, I'm worried about this? I'm like, I don't have time for this. It's just ridiculous. So, number 10, guys, stop stressing, stop worrying, try your best to get out of that, shake that feeling off. You can definitely live a more happier life if you stress less and you worry less. All right, guys, I hope these tips help. I hope some of them maybe you didn't really think about before, and now you can start practicing. And I just hope you guys can live a more happier and positive life. And please reach out in the comments if you guys have any questions, concerns, any questions for me, how I handle stress or things, and how I tend to stay positive most of the time. And just a final reminder, it's okay not to be okay. So sometimes you have to cry, sometimes you have to embrace that feeling, and it's okay. All right? So guys, I love you guys so much. We'll see you Friday. And take care, guys, all right? Bye. Sorry, I feel like that bye was really bad if you saw that. Anyways, guys, take care, okay? We'll see you next time.